Hello, and thank you so much for joining us for today's webinar. This is the recorded version of Eat Your Way to Less Stress, Strategies for Nutrition and Empowered Caregiving. My name is Jennifer Wolfshohl, and I will be the speaker today. I'm a registered oncology dietitian, and I am working with Meals to Heal. This presentation is brought to you by Meals to Heal and the Caregiver Space. So today's objectives, we're going to discuss ways to keep yourself healthy. We're going to go over some simple meal and snack prep ideas, discuss nutrition supplements, and ways to deal with difficult patients. So it's very important to identify signs of burnout so we can focus on taking care of ourselves so we can best care for someone else. These signs can manifest in a physical way. You may notice trembling, exhaustion, insomnia, poor appetite or compulsive eating. If you feel like you're getting sick all the time, you're susceptible to cold or the flu, having GI issues, irritable bowel syndrome or stomach upset, headaches, stress-induced skin reactions, increased blood pressure, or ignoring proper body mechanics. If everything just is feeling achy and painful, then these are some signs of burnout in a physical way. It can also manifest in a mental way if you're feeling forgetful or having a mental fogginess, if you notice any obsessive-compulsive behavior, or it's just impossible for you to hold your tongue, if you're having some impulsive actions, or believing that the more you do, the less you achieve, or feeling tricked or duped, these are also more signs of burnout. So what can nutrition do to help with those signs of burnout? Well, nutrition is great because you can optimize your mental and physical health. You can optimize your energy level, your immune function, and it's something that you can actually control. It really helps put a control on some of the situations. So one of the best ways to deal with this is to focus on making your meals nutrient dense. And what I mean by this is this means that your meals are going to have protein, carbohydrates, healthy fats. They're going to have all the vitamins and minerals that our bodies need to function optimally. Now, it's very important that you plan ahead for these types of meals to eat with intent. Cruciferous vegetables are wonderful. They're packed with nutrients, and these are going to be all your dark green vegetables, your leafy greens, your broccoli, your cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, the real stinky vegetables. They are going to be packed with nutritional value. One of the things that they have are they contain B vitamins. And B vitamins, there's been some studies that suggest a deficiency in B vitamins can trigger depression in some people. When you eat foods that are rich in B vitamins, it helps to ward off anxiety. In addition to the cruciferous vegetables, this can include beef, pork, chicken, legumes, oranges, other citrus fruits, rice, nuts, or eggs. Another great component to a nutrient-dense meal is protein. Protein is extremely important because it helps stimulate the production of brain chemicals, norepinephrine and dopamine, which are neurotransmitters. So what these do is they carry impulses between nerve cells, and the higher levels of norepinephrine and dopamine have been shown to improve alertness, mental energy, and reaction time. Great sources of protein include Greek yogurt, fish, all of the meats, cheese, eggs, nuts, beans, soy, and lentils. In addition to improving alertness and energy, protein also contains amino acids, which are the building blocks for red blood cells. Red blood cells are what carries the oxygen to all the cells in the body. So when we increase our oxygenation, of course, we're also going to increase our energy level. So that is very helpful. And that also helps to just optimize our immune function. Fiber is really important. Fiber is great because not only does it make you feel more full longer, but it's found in foods that are 100% whole grain. Whole grains take longer for the body to break down and release sugar into the bloodstream very slowly. Processed carbohydrates like white bread or white rice or crackers, they may give you an initial surge of energy, but then there's going to be a rush of insulin to rapidly drop the blood sugar levels. And this is going to ultimately leave you feeling very lethargic and very hungry. So it's best to try to eat a great source of fiber to keep your blood sugar as level as possible. And in addition, this is going to help regulate your GI tract. And when you start to eat fiber in the diet, I would encourage you to slowly add it into the diet to avoid some stomach upset or cramping. But if you gradually increase it and pair it with a good source of protein, you're going to have a great meal, and it's going to keep you very satisfied. Preparing meals in advance is also very helpful. Websites like supercook.com are great resources. It allows you to plug in the ingredients that you have at home, and it generates several different recipes that you can make with things that you have on hand. Shopping with a grocery list is an excellent way to keep you very focused and help unwanted things not to hop in the cart. And then to gradually integrate new healthy meals at home, it's always best if we can get the whole family on board, and sometimes it just takes a gradual time of transition to, start with one healthy dinner or one nutrient-dense meal throughout the day and see, what your family thinks about it, and experimenting with different recipes to try to please all the different palates. Now, sometimes it's difficult to cook for only one or two people, so some things that are helpful with that are just cooking in bulk. Things like chicken, rice, or quinoa are great because they can be repurposed into several different dishes, and you can use them for a few days in a week and then freeze the rest. So if you have chicken one night, you can cut it up and put it in enchiladas the next night, or make a casserole with it, or a soup. There's so many different things that you can do with some simple ingredients. Purchase individually frozen foods. Again, this could be things like chicken breast or chicken thighs, or any frozen patties to make some hamburgers, anything like that. You can buy individually frozen items, even frozen fillets of fish, and then you can just pull out one or two at a time, however many you need, and freeze the rest. Rethink cooking full meals. And what I mean by this is it doesn't have to be a big production. You can freeze leftovers in individual containers and have smaller meals throughout the day. I have a friend that would cook meatloaf in muffin tins, and she would freeze the single servings of meatloaf and just pop out the ones that she wanted to eat for that day, and thaw them in the microwave. So that's one option. It's a really creative idea. You can maintain a grocery shopping schedule. Sometimes going to the grocery store more frequently is helpful. This way, you use your ingredients and nothing goes to waste. If you go to the grocery store more frequently, you can kind of stay on top of those items and so they don't spoil in the back of the refrigerator or in the pantry. One great tip to navigate the grocery store is to shop the perimeter of the store first. This is because this contains all of the produce, the dairy, the protein, the unprocessed foods are on the perimeter of the store. On the inside of the store, you'll find things like the chips or, the processed foods or cans of things. And while these items are great in, small amounts, the most nutrient-dense foods are going to be on the perimeter of the store, and they're going to be unrefined. Stay away from the sugary cereal aisle in the middle of the store. Nuts, legumes, and beans are also great items for snacks, and these are all also located on the perimeter. And the whole grains like flax, quinoa, oats, these, again, are going to help regulate your blood sugar and keep you full longer and promote the GI health that we're looking forward to. The freezer aisle can also be very helpful, and the vegetables are great in the freezer aisle. This is because they contain several steamable items. Some of the bags are even steam ready, so you just throw the whole bag of veggies in the microwave and you pop it out in 5 minutes, and you have your side of vegetables is already done for you and ready to eat. Fruits, there's even some Fruits are great because they're picked at the peak of ripeness and then frozen, so they still taste delicious. And when they're frozen, you can throw them in a smoothie or, thaw them out and cook them however you like. And they're really tasty, and they last forever. Well, not forever, but, they last for much longer than the fresh fruits and vegetables do. There's also several easy breakfasts now and some really healthy options. I've seen oatmeal. I've seen egg white breakfast sandwiches. Some great choices. Bulk bins are also very convenient, so you can stock up for easy snacks. Things like the trail mix or dried fruit is great, and the bulk bins are really good for that. They also have items, some seasonings or spices that you might only need a small amount, so you don't have to buy a very large amount of it, and you have it for one recipe, and then you're done with it, and you don't have a bunch left over. So that might be a good option for you. So when you buy in bulk, it's nice you can portion the bulk food items into smaller portions when you get at home. If you're buying a bunch of trail mix, you can get a big bag of it and then go home with your quarter cup measuring cup and put them into individual serving sizes. Put a quarter cup in each Ziploc bag, and you have small snacks. You can use small stickers or tape to date and label the food that you have, and this is helpful because it helps you practice the FIFO method, the first in, first out, to make sure that you eat the foods that are going to expire the first, so you don't have a lot of waste. And when you're setting things up in your freezer or your fridge, it's nice to look at the expiration dates and line the ones that are going to expire first in the front of the fridge or the freezer, so you know that those are your go-to items. You can also have an inventory, a dry erase board, or a paperless chart if you're organized, and that can help with your inventory in your freezer or your fridge to make sure nothing goes to waste. Now, these are some tips for patients oftentimes, but sometimes caregivers have a poor appetite too because it's very stressful when you're trying to care for someone else. But in particular, if you have a patient that you're caring for and they're struggling to eat, it's important to encourage them to have 6 to 8 small meals per day, to try to eat when they're hungry. Oftentimes this is in the morning, so really capitalizing on that time is great. Using smaller plates, oftentimes large plates are very intimidating and can actually make a poor appetite even worse, so serving your foods on a small salad plate is helpful. Keeping your favorite foods in the home so they're available for you or your patient when you are hungry. And sometimes you might need to set a timer off to go off every hour and a half to remind you to grab a snack, to grab a handful of trail mix, or have a bowl of granola or something nutrient-dense every hour and a half, just to keep up that energy level and to make sure that you are satiated. Create an eating routine. This is often helpful because it gets your body trained to know that you need to eat at certain times throughout the day, and it just develops good habits. Trying to eat your source of protein first. There's a couple of reasons for this. One is that we need to get it in, and so if you make it a priority to eat the protein, then you know that you get it in. Also, the carbohydrates, the breads, the rice, the cereals, the pasta, they tend to expand in our stomachs when we eat them, and so oftentimes it's very easy to fill up very quickly on bread. But if you eat the protein first, then oftentimes you'll have room to eat more and to eat the carbohydrates second. So that's a good rule of thumb. Trying to keep your meal times relaxing and not stressful, listening to music, having candles, engaging in simple conversations, always trying to have humor. These are great, and it can really help a poor appetite if you just try to keep things relaxing. Sometimes the eating can be stressful for a lot of people, especially if you just don't feel like it. So keep things lighthearted. Also carrying snacks with you. Again, the Ziploc bags with your high-calorie snack ideas are going to be great. Prepare in bulk when you feel the best, and then, again, that you have them ready for when you're not feeling so great. This is a question that I get oftentimes about taste change. Taste change can be very frustrating. One question that we had during the webinar was about metallic taste in particular, and One of the best things to do for that, for metallic taste and also just poor taste, is to make a homemade baking soda, salt, and water mouthwash. And what that is, we call it the Swish and Spit. It's 3/4 a teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1 quart of water. And if you just mix that up into a water bottle and keep it by the sink, I tell my patients that every time they pass by, just to rinse your mouth, swish and spit, and frequently throughout the day, preferably before meals. What this does is it helps take bad taste out. It helps keep the mouth feeling fresh, and some people even say it helps to enhance taste. So that's something really great, and I would encourage you to do it at least 5 times a day. The more, the better. Trying to think of food as in terms of adding fat, adding something sour, adding something sugary, or adding something salty to it to help with taste changes. An example of adding fat, oftentimes the more moist, the better. The fat just kind of helps it get down. Also, if something's cold, but things that have the added fat, added mayonnaise, are things like chicken salad, tuna salad, or egg salad. These are great because you can kind of pick at it throughout the day, keep it in the refrigerator, have a couple bites every hour or so. It's gonna, and these foods are easy to eat in small amounts, and they have tons of protein again, and it's going to be a little bit easier to eat. Sometimes sour things are great. You can take a taste test of the different condiments in your refrigerator and see what you like. Some people really like mustard or ketchup or relish, and trying to incorporate that with all of your food. So it might even be an Italian salad dressing. It might be a hot sauce or a sweet and sour sauce, a barbecue sauce. That might be helpful. Sometimes people, the sweeter the better. So if your patient is really having difficulty, you might try with to see if they like sweet things, or on the other side, salty. I have some people that will take a bite of a pickle before they eat, just because they feel like the salt of it and the sourness of it helps perk up their taste buds and helps them to taste things a little bit differently. Again, another thing that you can do with taste changes is smoothies are excellent because you can kind of customize them how you like. If you want something more cooling, you can use a honeydew melon and a kiwi and a banana. Or if you want something sour or citrusy, you can use the citrus fruits like pineapple or oranges. And it's great because, again, you can control what fruit you put in, but also the straw is going to bypass those front taste buds, and so you can just kind of shoot it down your mouth, and not have to really deal with the strong tastes that come with those front taste buds. Trying to prepare food in a separate room from the patient is also helpful, and the strong odors can really be irritable, make someone irritable, and also recognize that if things are tasting metallic, try to avoid eating off of silverware. You could try plasticware instead. Again, you can try straws instead of drinking out of an aluminum can. Also, making sure you can prepare your meals in a glass baking pans instead of aluminum. That can really be helpful, those small things. And also, again, that baking soda, salt, and water mouthwash is really going to be key. Be patient. Tastes change often daily. So if something is not tasting great one day, encourage them to try it again in a couple days and see. Maybe they'll like it, and maybe they won't. But, the tastes do change often daily. Nutrition supplements, I always want to encourage people to use caution when you're selecting these. They're not regulated by the Food and Drug Administration, and there's a lot of potential for drug-nutrient interactions. A lot of people are familiar with the statin drugs and the need to avoid grapefruit, and this is because the grapefruit interferes with the metabolism of the cholesterol medication, the statins. So similarly, a lot of supplements can get in the way of various medications, and it's very important that you ask your dietitian or ask your pharmacist or your doctor to really review your supplement that you're wanting to take and make sure that it's not going to get in the way or interfere with the metabolism of any of your medications. And, your supplement may seem very normal, very simple, but there might be one herb in it or that could throw off the pathway. And so I used to screen supplements for patients all the time, and it's always better just to ask and to know, so you're not doing something that could potentially harm yourself or make your medicine not work how it's supposed to. So another thing is to look at the nutrition label. If you're just wanting to take a regular old multivitamin, make sure that it, one, doesn't have any additional herbs in it, or make sure that it doesn't greatly exceed 100% of the daily value for any one nutrient or any one vitamin on the label. That is going to be helpful. And, you can always integrate things like Ensure or Boost into your favorite foods. A lot of times patients are very sick of drinking Ensure and Boost, but if you add it to pancake batter instead of milk or muffins or other baked goods, it's a great way to sneak it in and get some extra calories and protein, and you really won't know that it's in there. You can also mix Ensure in with things like oatmeal instead of cream, and it can really help mask the flavor of the Ensure and also give that oatmeal a good boost. Smoothies are excellent also if you wanted to use either a whey protein powder that doesn't have any additional ingredients in it, or if you wanted to, my favorite is just using Greek yogurt in smoothies. It has double the protein, and you know that you're not getting anything, any other ingredients in that you don't want, and you can make a nice high-protein smoothie. So today we're going to wrap up. This is our Meals to Heal philosophy. Meals to Heal is dedicated to making the lives of cancer patients and their caregivers easier and less stressful by providing services which relieve them of significant time, energy, and worry associated with ensuring proper nutrition for themselves and their loved ones. We rely on 3 key services. We have weekly home delivery of fresh, healthy, delicious, chef-prepared cancer-fighting meals. The scientifically proven evidence-based nutrition information on our website is all free to use. We have some great resources for all types of patients and caregivers. We also have a program for breast cancer survivorship, and that is really a wonderful resource for people to become